know that feeling when your stomach drops as you see their name pop up on your screen again? Another email, another snide comment, another quick chat that isn't quick and definitely isn't kind. We've all had them. The toxic boss who abuses power, the difficult colleague who poisons the room, the person who somehow turns every workday into a low-level hostage situation for your nervous system. It's not just annoying, it's changing you in a not-so-good way. And this will decide your future, because if you can't hold your power in a room with one toxic person, how will you hold your power when the stakes are 10 times higher? Stay with me, because in this video, I'm going to give you a bold, clean, HR-safe, career-safe way to deal with toxic bosses and difficult colleagues without losing your mind, your job, or your soul. Toxicity is a liability for any organization, and karma is real, and smart leaders know it. Hi, Unbreakable Leaders. I'm PAVNESS Banjong, Fortune 500 strategic advisor and courage decision scientist. For 23 years inside top billion-dollar brands, I watched leaders crumble, hesitate, or rise when pressure hit. And I became obsessed with understanding why. What I discovered is simple. The moment you train your courageous decision-making, pressure stops owning you. In today's episode, I'm giving you the tools, frameworks, and mindset shifts you need to think clearly, act decisively, and stay unbreakable when everything is on the line, even when that everything looks like one toxic human making your life hell from 9 to 5. Welcome. This is PAVNESS, Courage Under Pressure. If you're into clear, courageous, no BS leadership in the age of AI and nonstop pressure, hit subscribe, share this with a friend who needs it, and let's dive in. Let me take you back to a season of my life that almost broke me. On paper, I made it. Top performer, great career, work I actually loved. I was the person people came to when things were on fire because they knew I could handle pressure, and then my new boss arrived. From the first week, something felt off. The jokes that weren't really jokes, the way he would praise certain people in public and slice others apart in public too. The constant, I'm just being honest feedback that somehow only went one way. I watched as he showed blatant favoritism to a small inner circle, thought like him, acted like him, and the more I delivered, the more threatened he seemed. He started quietly excluding me. I remember sitting in my car in the parking lot one evening, hands on the steering wheel, heart racing like I was about to walk into combat instead of a building with a logo. I love my company, my work, and my team, but I was starting to hate who I was becoming just to survive one man's ego. And here's the truth nobody tells you. Toxic people change how you see yourself long before they ever change your performance review. Have you been there? Answering emails at midnight trying to prove you're not what they say you are? Walking on eggshells because one person in the org holds the keys to your access, your projects, your future? I've been there too. And I want you to hear this from someone who not only survived it, but now advises leaders and organizations from the outside. This is not just a bad personality fit. This is pressure. And there is a science to how it messes with you. Let's break down what actually happens to you under a toxic boss or colleague. First, your nervous system gets hijacked. Your body starts scanning for threat the moment you see their name in your inbox. Your heart rate spikes, your muscles tense. You're not just annoyed, you're in a low-grade fight, flight, or freeze. Second, decisional drag creeps in. You start overthinking simple things. Should I copy them? Should I push back? Should I CC someone else? Every email now feels like a potential landmine. Third, chaos fragility kicks in. You're fine when things are quiet, but the moment there's a deadline, a reorg, an AI rollout, a shift in priorities, your ability to handle normal pressure drops. Why? Because half your bandwidth is being burned just managing this one toxic relationship. And then identity collapse starts whispering, maybe I'm not as good as I thought. Maybe I don't belong here. Maybe I need to shrink a little to survive. Here's the dangerous part. Toxic leadership doesn't just hurt your feelings. It rewires how you see yourself under pressure. And if you're not careful, you will start treating yourself the way they treat you. But there's a twist. And this is the part where I'm going to reframe this whole situation for you. You cannot control whether someone is toxic. You cannot control whether a boss is insecure or a colleague is narcissistic or a peer is petty. You cannot control how they were raised, what they're afraid of, or what their trauma taught them to do with power, but you can control this, whether you make their behavior your identity. The bold way to handle toxic bosses and difficult colleagues is not swallow it and be grateful. It's not burn it down and quit tomorrow. The bold way is this: you stay clear about who you are, you create clean, powerful boundaries, you respond instead of react, you build quiet allies, and you document and decide from courage, not from fear. So I want to give you a framework. I call it the BOLD protocol for toxic power. BOLD, because that's what it takes to hold your power in a room that's trying to strip it from you. Let's walk this through together, like we're sitting in a quiet room and we're game planning your next 90 days. First, believe what you're seeing and without making it about your worth. A lot of high performers gaslight themselves. You start thinking, maybe I'm too sensitive, maybe I misread that, maybe I should just toughen up. But your nervous system is not stupid. If you feel consistently unsafe, dismissed, undermined, publicly shamed, or strategically sidelined, that's data. Believing what you're seeing doesn't mean you send a rage email. It means you stop twisting yourself into a pretzel to justify someone else's bad behavior. This is not about you. It's about how they handle their own fear, power, and insecurity under pressure. Second, observe and document patterns, not just moments. 1 story is a story, 5 stories is a pattern. Start paying attention, like when do the comments happen, who's in the room, what kind of situations trigger them, do they treat others the same way? You're not doing this to collect dirt. You're doing it to separate signal from noise. Write it down, dates, times, what was said, who was there, how it impacted the work. This does 2 things. It gives you emotional distance, and if you ever need support, you're not coming in with vibes, you're coming in with facts. Third, limit access and emotional exposure. You may not be able to avoid this person entirely, but you can limit how much of your soul you hand them for free. Stop going to them for validation. Keep your communication clean, brief, and professional. No extra emotion, no extra explanation, no performing for approval. Protect your calendar, protect your mental space. You are allowed to love your job and your team and still create a buffer around one person whose energy is corrosive. And yes, it is absolutely okay to say something like, I'm committed to the work and to this team. For this project to succeed, we need clear, respectful communication from everyone at the table. You are not attacking, you are stating a standard. Fourth, decide your next move from courage, not from panic. At some point, you'll be at a crossroads. Do I stay? Do I speak up? Do I escalate? Do I move teams? Do I leave? This is where most people either implode or explode. They stay too long and burn out, or they blow up in one moment of accumulated rage and lose leverage. The courageous way is quieter. You ask yourself, if I wasn't scared, what would I do? If I trusted that my skills and value are real, what would I choose? If I believe that staying silent teaches people how to treat me, what would I say? Then you decide, not from ego, not from revenge, from clarity. In my story, I did all of this. I stopped making his behavior about my worth. I created boundaries. I spoke up to the right people in the right way with facts. And over time, the system did what systems eventually do with toxicity that becomes too loud to ignore. It pushed him out. No drama, no fireworks. One day he was just gone. Bye-bye. Because here's the thing about toxic leaders. If they're doing it to you, they're doing it to others. Enough voices, enough data, enough courageous clarity, and any reasonable organization will eventually see the liability. And I made a decision. I refuse to let one untrained, insecure leader erase my love for the work, the mission, or my own identity. You get to choose that too. Maybe right now you're listening to this on your commute, already dreading walking into that building. Maybe you have the Sunday scaries every week because you know you'll have to see their face again. Maybe you're already updating your resume at midnight, wondering if leaving is quitting or finally choosing yourself. I want you to know, you are not weak for being affected. Your body is working exactly the way a human body under threat is supposed to work, but you also are not powerless. So here's your concrete playbook for today. First, on a piece of paper or in a note on your phone, write this sentence: "This is about them, not about my worth." And give yourself permission to consider all options. Staying with stronger boundaries, escalating with evidence, moving teams, take a brain break, go on leave, or leaving entirely for your own sanity. Courage is not always staying. Sometimes courage is choosing a different room. If no one has told you this yet, I'm proud of you for even listening to a video like this instead of just numbing out and calling it just work. You deserve to do work you love without being slowly destroyed by someone who has never learned to manage their own fear, bias, or ego. You deserve leadership that isn't trying to break you to feel powerful. And if you have to become that kind of leader for the next generation because you didn't have one, then that's the assignment. If this episode hit close to home, I want you to do one more courageous thing. Drop a comment with bold so I know you're choosing not to gaslight yourself anymore. Please subscribe and share this with one friend, one colleague, one person who you know is walking into a toxic situation tomorrow pretending they're fine.